Hey everybody, it's Yasmin here. How are you doing? Happy Monday. I saw someone on one of the business lists I'm on saying, I love Mondays. And I thought, gosh, I actually kind of love Mondays as well because I love what I do for my work. And often on the weekend, I force myself not to do any work because otherwise I just get up into my office and be coming up with ideas and all that. And I mean, if you're a sort of a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, if you work for yourself, you know it's the sky's the limit to how much work you want to do. And so I kind of sometimes force myself not to get into my office on the weekend. I force myself just to step away from the computer, watch a bit of TV, have a relax. Yesterday I had a nice 2-hour snooze on the couch. We had a couple of family lunches and dinners over the weekend, all that kind of stuff. And it really is rejuvenating. But then when I get to Monday, I'm actually quite happy to be, back at it, hard at it. So speaking of starts, today is a start because the moon the moon has moved into Aries, okay? So if you know anything about astrology, you will know that Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. And as an Australian, I can say that what I'm about to say, I'm actually British and Australian. I was born British and I became Australian at the age of about 22. But I grew up in Australia. And what I'm about to say, it doesn't sit that well with the whole down under paradigm that we all grew up with. Just going to make it a bit darker in here. Okay, but the long and the short of it is Aries in astrology is the first sign of the zodiac, and the moon is currently at 2 degrees of Aries. There are 30 degrees in each sign, so the moon has just moved into Aries. Now, why is Aries the first sign of the zodiac? Well, apart from the fact it starts with the letter A, which is quite pleasing if you have that kind of mind, it's actually the first sign of the zodiac because it comes, the sun moves into Aries, not the moon. The moon is what we're talking about, but the sun moves into Aries in sort of late March or the first 3 weeks of April, which is in the Northern Hemisphere where I am right now in lockdown, which is springtime, okay? So I don't think anyone quite knows why Aries was chosen as the first sign of the zodiac, but from that perspective, I don't think there was a council of astrologers or something and everyone sat down and, got to have their opinion and choose which sign would be the first sign of the zodiac. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there was a council of astrologers that I don't know about. But I think it was it just became the first sign of the zodiac because of its associations with the spring in the Northern Hemisphere. Now, in the Southern Hemisphere, where I grew up and where I know a lot of you guys are, it's the start of autumn. But actually, it is the kind of the start of a new year in Australia as well, because when you grow up in Australia, like I did, summer stretches over these lovely, at least 3 long months of pretty high summer we would get. When I was little, I used to think that summer holidays lasted a year. I thought we had a year off at the summer holidays. That's what it was like. And that was even growing up in Tasmania where it wasn't even that hot, but we had a pool in the backyard and it felt like a year of summer every year. So summer comes to an end, okay? So just like here in the UK, pretty soon winter will come to an end. Well, not soon, but eventually in March, hopefully not too long away. It'll come to an end, and summer will come to an end in Australia. Now, here for us in the UK, it definitely feels like the start of a new cycle as the sun will move into Aries at the end of March and the first 3 weeks of April, which is when all our Aries friends, like my sister and my husband, will have their birthdays, okay? And it feels like the start of something new because we're coming out of winter, and it's like, woo, something new. But in Australia, and correct me if I'm wrong, all the Aussies out there who are listening and watching, I actually think that March or April in a way does feel like the start of the new year. It works that it's the start of the new year on some kind of energetic level. I think maybe because of the Aries energy, which is all about starting over, which is, you know, it's a baby of the zodiac. It's like the baby is born, the year is born. But I think it does as well, because I think in some ways, and as I said, I grew up in Tasmania, let alone if I'd grown up in New South Wales or Queensland or the Northern Territory where it's so hot. Even in Australia, it felt like we had that crazy endless summer. And then, you know, then after that, it's kind of like the world starts again and we're back down to business. You know, summer is like this time off. It's like the weekend of the year, and then you move into March, April when the sun moves into Aries, and it feels like the beginning of the year. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention all that because the moon is moving into Aries today. Not the sun, the moon. Now remember, the moon goes through all the 12 signs of the zodiacs once a month. Okay, that's where we get the word month from moon, month. And so as the moon moves into Aries every month, it's a really good opportunity to spend some time thinking, okay, what do I want for myself? If you made your new moon wishes with me a couple of days ago, on the 13th of January, I think we did them, and it's now the 18th of January, you know, have you been sticking to them? Now, I'm going to be honest, I haven't stuck to mine 100%. Like, I've got a couple of things that I want to achieve. I've got my big, hairy, audacious overall goal, and I've broken it down into little pieces, which I'm making for my new moon intentions. I can't say I've done it 100%, but maybe that helps you, because maybe you haven't done it 100%, and you're like, well, you know, okay, it's okay. We can't all be perfect. But I've done it a bit, and I'm going to keep doing it. And now as the moon moves into the sign of Aries, it's another really good opportunity to sort of think, okay, what do I want for myself in the coming 4 weeks as I go through the new lunar cycle? The moon is in Aries today, and in a couple of days it'll move into Taurus, then into Gemini, into Moonchild, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. And we'll go through all the 12 signs of the zodiac. So it's a really good time to recommit to something, whatever it is your big, hairy, audacious goal for 2021 that you've hopefully broken down into baby steps. And also, I'm just going to mention one other thing, and then I'm going to do a card. But if you've been feeling kind of jingle jangle, bit sort of in the past few days, I know a lot of people have, because I've seen people writing about it in my subscribers Facebook group, the closed Facebook group, which if you get my newsletter, you're eligible to join that. And I've seen people talking about it, and I said, yes, I've been feeling the same, like not sleeping. I really couldn't sleep last night and all the night before. And when I get to sleep, I'm fine, but it's like, in my head before sleeping. And there's nothing, touch wood, you know, particularly to be concerned about right now. We all seem to be in one piece. And I was thinking, well, I know what it is. And of course I realise it now rather than at 1 o'clock in the morning when it might have actually done me some good. It's because we've had a Jupiter-Uranus alignment, and Uranus is very much the planet of lightning and electricity, and when lightning hits electricity and it's really like electric shock kind of stuff. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of us will have been having brains that have just been in overdrive and bodies that have been feeling really wound up. And we're through that now, but you know, hopefully it's a good thing. It can be used for very positive changes. Mars is actually now going to be approaching Uranus as well. So it's not, you know, the energy isn't going to quite go back to sleep yet. I'm desperately, my husband and I are locked in a battle about whether or not we should get an exercise bike or a treadmill, a walking machine. He wants a bike, I want a treadmill. Usually I defer to him because he often has the better idea, like he thinks things through like crazy. But if there's no really good reason, then he usually lets me get my way. So now we'll see what happens. But I feel like as well, especially for those of us in the UK in lockdown where we can't really even leave the house, or we're not supposed to leave the house too much, you know, we can go walk around the block, but you know, it's you can't sort of just go rambling and all that. And just long story short, I think we need an exercise bike in this house or a treadmill in this house right now. And that's actually going to be a good thing as well for us, because I haven't been sleeping properly. So if you haven't been sleeping properly, either get out and do more exercise, or consider something like doing daily Zumba classes online, or if you're like me and you want to get a walking machine. I just like the idea of a walking machine because I can just put my phone down and, you know, listen to some podcasts or whatever, or watch a film. Anyway, I'm digressing a bit, but what I'm trying to say is the energies are really, really intense right now. So, you know, we just have to do whatever we can to try and work with them. And they're not about to ease up particularly. They're not bad. These are actually quite easy energies compared to some of the energies that we're going to get this year. It was a harmonious alignment between Jupiter and Uranus, but it's still very electric and it's still quite disturbing. You know, you could say it's very disruptive. There's a real, you know, like people have come up with this word now as like, you know, disruption, social media disruption or digital disruption. Well, Uranus is very much the disruption planet and is really, really active this year. So we all need to learn how to work with it. So going back to what I was saying at the start of today's chat, I won't call it a rant, the moon is moving into Aries today. It's back in Aries. It's the first sign of the zodiac. So you now have 1 month ahead of you, okay, to look at how am I doing with my goals? How am I doing with my intentions? What am I committing to? You know, and starting to like, this is what it means basically to live consciously. Okay, so there you go. And for those of you who are coming to my January 23 free online workshop, it's free when you get my diary. This is the kind of thing we're going to be talking about, and I'm going to give you more information about what's coming up in that. But it's going to be about how to handle the energies of 2021, which are pretty darn intense. So if you do have my diary, you can click the link above or below to register so you get your ticket, because I think we're going to send all the invitations out tomorrow. And if you don't have my diary, well, good luck with finding it. It's almost out of stock everywhere, so you can try and nab one of the last copies if you haven't yet, and then you can come to the January 23 workshop. All right, so let's have a look at the card for the day. Are you ready with the card for the day? Are you ready with the card for the day? I'll just wait till I see one person saying, yes, I'm ready for the card for today. Who wants a card? It's hard for me to read without my glasses. Christy got my diary. Great. Very happy to hear that. Lulu, really looking forward to the workshop. Me too. I can't wait. January 23, it's going to be. Okay, Carrie is ready for a card. All right. Okie dokie. And just by the way, while I think of it, the only way to get the workshop ticket is to register your diary above or below, to buy it from or register it at the link that I've got. I think it's below, because otherwise we don't know you have the diary. When you register, you basically go into our system to start to receive all the workshop information, because I keep forgetting how we're doing it. I don't know if we're doing it on Zoom or I don't know. I always keep forgetting, but we'll send you the links. All right. Okay. Ready with the card. Oh, well, that's a nice card to start the week off with. I like this card. Are you ready? So whatever it is you're asking about, whatever you've been working towards, maybe it's your new moon wishes, your intentions, your commitments. Are you ready? Here's your card. It's actually the new moon in Capricorn card. Your hard work is paying off. So that's bloody good news. A beautiful way to start the week, I think. Your hard work is paying off. So whatever it is you're working towards, whether you're working in your relationships or your actual work or on your health or whatever, your hard work is paying off. So take that as a motivational influence in your life, that whatever you're working towards, you are on the right track. So keep going. How's that? All right. So on that note, I'm going to go and do my work. And someone's saying they got their diary as a gift. If you got it as a gift, still go to the page linked to below and register. You still get all the free stuff. You don't have to have a receipt. We've worked out a way. Tracy, I keep getting this card. Well, I think the universe has a message for you. Lots of love, guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Have a beautiful day. See you tomorrow.